Vinyl records are art. Like any other musical medium, wax cylinders, cassette tapes, CDs, MP3s, and streaming, they're all a way to listen to your favorite music. Vinyl has made a comeback, but it's not only because of fidelity. It has to do with the physical object itself. You can enjoy your music in any format, but the experience of the vinyl record is unique. Listening to vinyl turns passive listening into an active experience. The drop of the needle, admiring the album sleeve, flipping the record, reading the lyrics. And that's only traditional records. You know what it's like. Black vinyl that gleams as you pull it from the sleeve. And album art is big enough to hold in front of your face for an amusing photo. But many records go beyond. Hold it up to the light, and you may find the opaque black vinyl is actually translucent. Or maybe a different color, perhaps taking on a whole new hue depending on how light hits or penetrates its surface, particularly when lit from behind. As far back as the mid-20th century, record plants experimented with colored vinyl. The number of color variations in modern pressings are as varied as the color spectrum itself. And sometimes as wild as a tie-dyed shirt. Wax Mage records in particular are some of the most beautiful, rare, and sought-after pressings available, usually on a limited run of only 25. Some records even glow in the dark. Some center labels appear to animate as the record spins. And some records show animations on the full vinyl disc as the record plays. Some covers create optical illusions as they are removed from the sleeve. And others have hidden imagery that can only be discovered with a special decoder. When there isn't enough music for a B or a D side, countless releases have included etchings. Others incorporate screen-printed art. And still others might have foil stamped on the spare sides. Richard Houghton's records even flicker like a disco ball with diffractive grating holograms. In fact, he's probably experimented more than anyone else with the unique effect. And he's tried it with both black vinyl and color vinyl. At least one, from Mario Schweikert's Mini Mall Combinat, dances with color as light catches the suspended discs on the cover. Vinyl records can even contain hidden art. Some have grooves that create scratch hologram animations as the record turns. Some releases, like from Third Man Records, even include hidden tracks pressed into the paper of the center labels themselves. Some old records even respond to ultraviolet light, glowing with colors not seen under the normal visible spectrum. Have you seen records filled with other things? Chris Banta's Romanus Records is famous for including solid items such as candy, scorpions, and glow-in-the-dark sand, among numerous other things. He even put glowing LEDs in some of his releases, like this one from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Other labels have experimented with liquids such as Guinness beer. Multiple labels have experimented with oil and water combinations that interact like liquids in a lava lamp. The Flaming Lips even famously filled a record with the blood of many of the musicians that played on the tracks for a very limited release they did to raise money for local charities. Some records are housed in unique packaging, like this illuminated one from Minimal Combinat. One of Brian Eno's records responds interactively with an augmented reality app that adds virtual elements which float above the record's surface when viewed with a smartphone. Some unplayable records are strictly art objects. Musicians like Bjork have released records accompanied with playable small wind instruments that screech like bird calls. Some are pressed from recycled water bottles, or even cast in cement. One short-lived record was even cast from ice. Records can be lathe cut into various plastics, as Mike Dixon's People in a Position to Know label, or Pioptic, has done. He has lathe cut everything from picnic plates to laser discs. Dixon runs one of the most consistently inventive labels out there, and he was the first to fill a record with liquid, and continues to experiment with concepts no one else had tried. He also pioneered lathe cutting on a CD, allowing for what he calls hybrid CDs, which can be played in a CD player or on a turntable. In the 1950s, Russia's censorship meant listening to American rock music was impossible until some fans found a way to share makeshift LPs by engraving tracks into X-rays, sometimes referred to as bone music. Pioptic and other modern labels have continued that tradition as well. Dixon's also famous for his Eulerian Circles series of playable, clear, multiple-sided, multiple-hole records, with seemingly overlapping and concentric circles. They appear impossible to play as they wobble on the turntable with seemingly crisscrossing tracks. Ultimately, listening to music is an experience, and vinyl enhances that experience in so many ways. But no matter what your vinyl looks like, it's there for you to enjoy, both visually and aurally. So take it off the shelf and admire it. But make sure to give it a spin.